Ba-da-ba-da. Week number 9, Spencer. Week number 9 in the National Football League featuring World of Matchups. NFL Handicapping Podcast coming to you live and direct from home of the handicap, Las Vegas, Nevada. I am your host, Dexter Reid. On the other side of the glass, my A1 from day number 1 and producer of this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Spencer the Wiz. Good morning.
What's going on? I had an extra day off of work this week. I had Friday off for Nevada Day, and it's just so funny. Like, I don't even know what to do with myself. It feels wrong to know I have another day off tomorrow. It's just kind of funny how that ends up working out.
I love it. I love it, man. Nice to get back in the saddle and talk football. Last week we both split again, 6-6. For the year, I am 61-51 against the spread, and Spencer is 53-59, still trying to break even here. Let's see what we can do for you guys in the way of making some money. I got a couple props that I like as well. We got a bunch of teams on bye. This is the gauntlet for the bye weeks, this week, last week. But there's still plenty of football to be played. Not a lot of great matchups, but let's set it off, Spencer. Who's first?
All right, looks like we have the Denver Broncos. They're visiting the Houston Texans at home. The Texans are -2.5. That is a very interesting game. That is a hard one. Houston seems to play a lot better at home. The Denver Broncos are also on a bit of a tear. You know what I think the real winner of this is, surprisingly? I think the over is 40.5. Denver's been able to score, and I know I guess that kind of changes when people play Houston, but that seems a little too low, in my opinion. That's the thing that kind of sticks out the most for me on this one. Wow. You know, I feel like I've been Houston Texans #1 fan the entire season, and they've let me down so many times. And then I've gone against them, and they end up winning. Kind of hard for me to choose, but my gut is telling me to take the Houston Texans. I don't know if I love that, but Bo Nix has struggled mightily at certain points in the season, and I think that bodes well for a Houston Texans team that is, in my opinion, the best in the NFL. I don't think that's a stretch to say. I know Denver has the best pass rush in the NFL, but they don't have the best defense. We've seen them give up a lot of points, and you know the game got out of hand when it came to the Cowboys last week, but we've seen that like multiple times this season. You know, thinking back to the Bears game where it all just falls apart. Matt Eberflus, I don't know he doesn't really have much to work with, but they haven't been that good. This isn't my favorite bet of the week, but I like the Texans at home, and I think Bo Nix is due for a bit of a stinker because they're like kind of on this like really nice run right now, and I don't think those kinds of runs last forever.
You got a -2.5. What website are you using? Because I have them here -1.5.
No, I'm using this. I have it pulled up on the score unless the line changed.
And I have them on the Score mobile right now at 1.5. So it's gone down.
Interesting.
So we're going to do 1.5, guys, depending on where you're handicapping, William Hill, what casino you're going to.
Yeah.
It's going to FanDuel, DraftKings. This is the type of game that's going to fluctuate for a lot of the reasons that Spencer had just alluded to. There's a lot of different moving parts. First things first, Nico Collins has been cleared from the concussion protocol, so their home run hitter is back on the field. That's big. Patrick Surtain may or may not be out. I haven't seen him ruled out yet, but I'm pretty sure he will not play. I think that knee injury, I think it's a knee that he sustained last week, might have him on the shelf for a minute here. So that's one of the top cover corners in the league, one of the highest paid cover corners in the league, not playing. So plus for Houston, minus for Denver. So there might be a little swing here. So keep that in mind when you're going to lay your money now. I like the Texans here too, man. I talked about this last week. The Texans at home play different. Their defense is tough. Their offense doesn't really scare a whole lot of people, but their defense keeps them in games, especially in the playoffs. We've seen this a number of different times, and so I'm going to take them here. I'm not going to take them with a whole lot of confidence, but I think that Denver has been flying high, man. There's no universe that they should have won that game at home versus the Giants. They have won 5 in a row. I can't figure out Bo Nix. Is he good? Is he not good? Is there a sophomore slump? Is there not a sophomore slump? I mean, I know Sean Payton's a Super Bowl head-winning coach. R.J. Harvey is emerging. J.K. Dobbins is good. However, this defense is built to stop the run, and they play tough in their building. I have a funny feeling that the blow-up game that we've been waiting for Nico Collins finally emerges here. I've been waiting for it all year. Where is the Nico Collins 2 touchdowns, 150 yards, 7-8 catch game with 1 long touchdown? We've been waiting for it. We saw it all last year. We haven't seen it this year. Surtain is out. If he is out, I think you get it here. I think slowly but surely they start to realize that the best running back on this team is Woody Marks. I don't understand what they're doing here. D'Amico Ryans, give this boy the ball. He can run through the tackles. He is not just a third down passing down back. He can do more than you think he can do. Mix in Chubb if you have to. I think the defense plus that is enough to win this game. I think a field goal wins it. I think that's what I'm going to bet on. 27-24. Houston Texans at home. And all of a sudden, they're starting to emerge. They're starting to emerge after a really rocky, slow start and a lot of people questioning C.J. Stroud and his toughness and his ability. If they get this one, we're having a different conversation next week.
All right, let's hop over. It's the San Francisco 49ers. They're going to New York to play the Giants. And for me, I have the San Francisco 49ers are -2.5. Mac Jones is confirmed starter for this one. And yeah, I don't know, man. This is just not a consistent Giants team. I like the Eagles last week in the blowout. That ended up being correct for me. And they had this little extra juice. Cam Scattaboo, Jackson Dart. The two were just, like a two-man wrecking crew, I guess, whatever you want to call it. They were going into the tents with each other, getting fined. You're not supposed to go in there. But, obviously Scattaboo's leg got turned backwards, or his foot, and it was pretty gnarly. And they're just running out of weapons. You know what I mean? Like, Scattaboo was that extra bit that they needed to be successful, and he had some really good games, and they had something going.
Guys, Russ here.
You've already lost Malik Neighbors. You've already lost Cam Scattaboo. They can't even get Jalen Hyatt on the field for some reason. He wanted to trade. So it's like their depth pieces, they have problems with them too. It just seems like a typical Giants season now. Like, we're just now replaying the classics when it comes to what their seasons have looked like for a while now. And I think it's really fallen apart for them. The 49ers, they're injured too, but they're a better coach. They have enough pieces. George Kittle's back. Christian McCaffrey's playing. Juwan Jennings is playing. It's like, that's probably more than enough to win by a field goal against the Giants. It feels like 4.5. Okay, I don't know. I'm starting to think the other way, but it's not like I'm scared of the Giants. We've seen them start to really fall apart after a really strong start when they switched over to Jackson Dart. I think they're just kind of running out of steam, in my opinion.
I disagree. I mean, I don't. First of all, before I get into this, it just came over the wire that Christian Kirk will play. Not that he's been some kind of world beater, but that's just even more incentive, guys, to bet everything you have on Houston. I mean, if they ever get him involved now to help spell Nico Collins, they should win that game going away. Now, to the Giants. Yeah, they're bad. But I think already through 9 weeks, they have exceeded expectations that we've had for them. Let's be honest. Now, everyone's thought process is going to be that Mac Jones will do enough here to win the game. That's everyone's thought process. I'm going to go with a different thought process. The Giants' D-line is very good. The strength of the Giants is their defense. Okay? Now, if you can slow down Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers are a very beatable team. The 49ers are a paper tiger. They've played absolutely no one all year. Somebody get in these comments and tell me their signature win this year. Now, you play the schedule that's in front of you, but I'm not galvanized by anything that they have done. They almost lost at home to the Arizona Cardinals. Please stop with this nonsense. They're not a good team. Everybody is hurt. If anything happens to McCaffrey, the Giants will win this game going away. Now, I have seen games like this in the Meadowlands at MetLife Stadium where they have no shot at winning, and all of a sudden they cover and sometimes even win. I could see a world where Cam Scatterbo is pumped in via FaceTime with this pregame speech, or even in the locker room on crutches, talking to this team before they head out the tunnel. I could absolutely see it. Now, yeah, Jawan Jennings is playing, but 5 broken ribs don't heal overnight. No Ricky Pearsall. The only person that really worries me here is George Kittle, and the connection between Kittle and Purdy is real. The connection between Kittle and Mac Jones is not. It's not. And so it's going to be a one-man show with McCaffrey, and the Giants D-line might be able to keep him in check. They might. I'm going to take a shot on the Giants here, plus 2.5 at home. Don't ask me how they're going to score. I mean, it's not like Tyrone Tracy is horrendous. He's not great, but he's a chain mover. He's a former wide receiver. I mean, he can catch the ball. Robinson, another guy that can catch the ball. I don't understand the whole Jalen Hyatt thing, man. This guy's a burner at Tennessee, and he can run routes. Theo Johnson, I mean, they're all just mid guys. But with a decent defense, you can win this game 16-13. You can cover this spread 17, 20, something like that. I think the Giants make some plays here, man. I know Mac Jones is better than advertised, but these guys are all banged up. They are all banged up. And they're flying 3,000 miles to MetLife Stadium. This is a game that no one thinks the Giants are going to win now that Scatterbo is out. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go the other way. And I think they can win the game outright. I really do. Dude, who have the 49ers beat this year? Seriously. Anyone that thinks the 49ers are a good team, you got to have your head examined. No Fred Warner. No Nick Bosa. I mean, the whole team is decimated. This is a trap like I've never seen. This is a pothole that you see literally coming and you just choose to drive right into the pothole. You got to go around that, man, and you got to be willing to take a shot and swerve and not to hit the other car. And that's what I'm going to do here, man. I'm going to take the Giants plus 2.5. Guys, I'm going to take them with confidence too. I know it sounds crazy, but I've been saying that about a couple of these picks here, and they have been hitting. So, do not be scared. You cannot be scared of these picks here, guys. That's what they want you to do. And when you do that, you can get clipped. I'm not saying Spencer is wrong. I'm not saying he's right. I'm just saying I have a feeling about Big Blue this week, and I'm going to roll with it.
All right, let's hop over. It's the Indianapolis Colts. They're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are plus 3.5. I don't know, man. The Steelers are just kind of duds. I mean, wasted potential. I think it might be time to move on for Mike Tomlin. It kind of seems like they've just hit a wall. They have all this talent on their team, and I know their wide receiver core, if we're being honest, is very weak outside of DK Metcalf. And we all just kind of say that Calvin Austin was going to, sit right in there and just be this great wide receiver too, but he's not. Their running game has been just okay, I guess, is probably the best way to describe it. They put up a stinker on Sunday Night Football. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. They played horrible in that game. They made Green Bay look like week 1 Green Bay, and they really haven't done anything like that. Mm-hmm. So Jonathan Taylor's the MVP right now. I might put money on it right now after this. I don't know if he's leading, but if he's not, it might be worth putting like $100 down. This guy's putting up some of the craziest running back numbers I've ever seen in my life. 3 touchdowns 3 times this year. It's crazy what they're doing. Daniel Jones is doing what he needs to, but obviously this team runs, no pun intended, through Jonathan Taylor. If I'm building an anytime touchdown ticket, which I am, it starts with Tyler Warren. This is the guy. He's going number 1 in that slot. I think he's gonna have a monster game. Look what Tucker Kraft did to them, and they use Tyler Warren a lot. He's had a crazy rookie season, and I know everyone's due for a stinker at some point, but I don't know, man. This Colts team they're literally on another level. I'm not afraid of 3.5. You tell me they can't win by a touchdown against a very pedestrian Steelers team right now. And Aaron Rodgers already kind of looking like a bitch on the field, yelling at everybody. Nothing's his fault ever. Dude, it's just, I hate it. I'm not the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan, to be honest with you.
I can't stand it.
DeForest Buckner might go, feral in this game if he gets his hand on Aaron Rodgers. He's trying to do these weird little passes. It's just the vibes are all off, for the Steelers. Yes, is this like one of those games where they always just seem to win? That's how they get to their 8th win, just some stupid win that they, gets them going again. It could, but I'm just not betting on them right now because they're not a very good team. They have a lot of talent, but they're not a very good team. And you're facing the best team in football. I know it sounds stupid to say, and I'm not talking about for a Super Bowl, but they're the best team in the regular season right now. And I'm going to bet on them in this one.
Me too. I like the Colts here. I took the Steelers last week, and they let me down in a big way. They laid down like children in the second half, man. It was really hard to watch because that's normally a game that they get under the lights. Aaron Rodgers' revenge game. I mean, they got slapped around. The game was out of hand after the second quarter. And so I'm going to take the Colts here minus the 3.5. On the Colts side, Jonathan Taylor is balling. You know what I mean? There's just no doubt about that as far as the MVP is concerned. If these other quarterbacks stay in the hunt, if Mahomes stays in the hunt, if Baker has a big blow-up game, it's going to be hard to give it to him because it's a quarterback-driven award, and they just do that. They need to have a separate award because they just give it like last year, man. I mean, it was Lamar's trophy, and they gave it to Josh Allen. There's always some kind of tomfoolery with this award. So he's going to have to score 25 touchdowns, for him to get it. That's just, and he can. He's got, 14, 15 already? 3 games with 3 already? The guy's a monster. He can run long runs. He is having Saquon's year. Saquon's last year is this year's Jonathan Taylor. That's exactly what's happening. And so I think the Steelers are in trouble. I don't think Mike Tomlin deserves to go. It's not his fault, man. They have underachieving stars. The Rooneys don't get rid of people either. They've had 2 coaches in 400 years. It's just whatever. Their defense has got to be the biggest letdown of the NFL season. Dude, they got studs and no one's doing it. They are so overpaid. It is ridiculous. That team cannot make a stop. They can't stop anyone. Watt got paid and now he had done nothing. He's done nothing. And so they could stretch the field with Pierce. Warren eats underneath, and then you got Pittman and Downs. This is a very well-rounded offense, man. For some reason, it's still not a team that I fear, because if you could slow down the run, Daniel Jones will make mistakes, but they are playing well, man, and they've beaten good teams, and the teams that they've lost to, they were right in it at the end. Take the Colts minus 3.5. Aaron Rodgers doesn't scare me anymore. Not that he has for a while now. They have nothing behind DK Metcalf. This is the problem. Their wide receiver room is the worst in the NFL. Anything happens to DK, their starting wide receivers are practice squad players. Calvin Austin is buns. Who else do they have? They're going to run the 12 tight end set. Come on. You have to be able to score points. And what happens is that teams get up heavy, like you saw last week, and guys like Jalen Warren, they're taken out of the game. That's your bread and butter. And that's what Aaron Rodgers likes to do, check down to these guys. The game plan is out the window at that point. If the game is 10-0, Steelers cannot win this game. So I think that the Colts are in good shape here, man, to really go after the 1 seed. And the road to the Super Bowl has to go through Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. I'm not saying it's definitely happening, but boy, it's sure looking that way. Take the Colts with confidence, minus 3.5.
All right, let's go to the Carolina Panthers. They're going to Green Bay to play the Packers. Packers are minus 13.5. We were both on the right side of huge lines last week, so we're not afraid to lay points. That's not the problem. The problem for me is that it seems like a lot. Bryce Young is back. I think I don't think they're going to win this game. I think that's too much of a stretch, but I think this team really believes in Bryce Young now. Like, I get that impression that he's their leader. There was that time when they benched him that everyone was just looking the other way, away from him. And now they're looking to him, and I think that's enough to keep it within 2 touchdowns. I don't know. He's played, you put in Rico Dow. Like, I'm not letting, we've seen this Green Bay team look really pedestrian. Carolina's defense has played really well. Again, when you had Andy Dalton, he's such a milk dud, man. He stinks. You're not going to win that game against Buffalo. They were going to blow him out 1,000 out of 1,000 times. Fumble here. He only get 2 turnovers in that game. Defense just like, yeah, whatever, man. You guys aren't scoring. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened, but it feels like when I watch the game, that's what happened. So I think Bryce Young's going to keep it close enough. I mean, he's going to take a bunch of sacks in this game. I think if he just plays clean enough, I think Rico could have a pretty good game. It's not like the Steelers had any sort of run game going. They'll give the ball to him 25 times. And then what happens when you're at the end? I don't know, 17-24, something stupid like that. You could even 17-30, and you're still covering at that point. That seems really realistic to me, a 17-30 kind of game. So I like Carolina in this one. Like I just said, we're not afraid of big lines, but sometimes it really is just a bunch of points laid out for a team that, could realistically keep it somewhat close.
I'm taking the Panthers in this game, and I'm taking them with confidence. Coach Dave Canales comes out this week and it says, this experimentation with this two-headed monster is over. Chuba Hubbard, we're paying you a lot of money, but you are now my third down back. Because there's no denying how good Rico Dowdle has been. He's the hammer. He is the soul food, and Chuba Hubbard's the finesse. And until further notice, this is how it's going to be. So when you have a guy that goes back-to-back 200 yards receiving, I don't care who the starting running back is. That's your new running back. Period. End of statement. And Green Bay has had some games this year where they've looked suspect to me, man. 40 at Dallas. Arizona backdoor covered them. I mean, the last week they looked great. I'll give them that. But this is versus a team that can't score in bunches. Not that the Panthers can, but the Panthers are going to go into this game and they're going to say we are going to keep Jordan Love, Tucker Kraft, and Josh Jacobs on the sidelines for as long as we possibly can. And that's why Rico Dowdle is there. Bryce Young is back. They get their leader back on the field. Guys, the Panther defense is not bad either. They're not bad either. They play the run pretty well. I think this is a trap game for a lot of people that think they're going to get eviscerated. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I think that they will probably cover this 13.5 by maybe a point or two. A backdoor cover, that means absolutely nothing. A touchdown, that means absolutely nothing. And you lose your money. The Packers are a very good team, but they, to me, are not as good as the team that they had last year. Their defense is not that great. It's just not. I know people think it is, but it's just not. And this is another one of those traps, man. I'm not scared to lay big spreads at all. But the Panthers got better weapons. They got better weapons this year. And I trust Bryce Young coming back to try to put some points on the board here to the tune of a backdoor cover. And so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with it with a decent amount of confidence, too. Panthers plus 13.5 is a play.
I'm adding Josh Jacobs to my anytime touchdown ticket, by the way. I'm up to Tyler
every week.
And Josh Jacobs.
Every week.
I just think that looking what James Cook did last week, he's going to get another one. Or Josh Jacobs is going to get another one this week. Let's go to the Minnesota Vikings. They're playing the Detroit Lions. The Lions are minus 9.5 in this one. I believe J.J. McCarthy is returning this week, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, boy. It's been rough for the Minnesota Vikings, man. Should have kept Sam Darnold.
They're
as
done.
Crazy as that is, man.
Poor Kevin O'Connell, man.
Yeah, a bit of turmoil for the team. I'm gonna go stupidly against my. I'm gonna go with my gut, and it's gonna sound stupid, and there's no reason to do this at all. I'm gonna take the Minnesota Vikings. It's just silly and dumb. No reason the Lions shouldn't blow them out of the water. It just feels like one of those games every week where you're just like, how the hell did that just happen? It defies all logic. And we're all scratching our head at the end of the day how this team covered. I don't know how they're going to do it or why. And J.J. McCarthy's been terrible outside of one half of football against the Bears, and there's no reason the Lions should blow them out. All conventional logic. And it's going to, somehow I think it's going to happen. Like Jared Goff has a stinker, right? The Minnesota Viking has one of those patented games where they're just turning the ball over. You know, they have a really good pass rush for Minnesota. That's Jared Goff's number one problem. Anytime he's under pressure, he becomes terrible, like actually like one of the worst quarterbacks. Like I said, I don't really have any reason outside of that. But who knows? Something stupid is going to happen in this game, and the Minnesota Vikings will find themselves covering. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but something deep inside my gut is telling me they're going to find a way to cover this stupidly.
Vikings are in trouble, folks. They are in trouble. This is my best bet. Lions minus 9.5. Don't let that crooked number scare you off. I've seen games like this before. The Lions are on their way back. The Lions, they got punched in the mouth in Kansas City, and behind closed doors, they were like, no, this is not who we are. We are going to right this ship, and we're going to do it in a big way because a lot of people think that we're falling off, and we're going to let people know that we are still here, and we are going to do it in a big way versus this team, which, guys, the Minnesota Vikings, they're a bad team. They're a bad team, okay? And they're a bad team for a number of different reasons. One, it's the quarterback carousel. Now, I know it's because of injuries, okay? But injuries are part of football. I don't want to hear anyone crying about injuries because when my team is injured, no one says a word. And now I don't want to hear it. Injuries are part of football. Next man up, okay? Next man up mentality. A team that has Jay Jettas, Jordan Addison, Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones, and TJ Hawkinson should not be this bad when you have a great head coach like Kevin O'Connell, and they have not put it together at all this year. Not at home, not on the road, maybe not even in practice. Okay, and in comes your quote-unquote savior, J.J. McCarthy, who's done absolutely nothing outside of a 10-minute stretch 6 weeks ago. And you're going to expect him to go into the Lions' den and win this game? They're going to get murdered in this game. Murdered. They just paid Aiden Hutchinson. That boy is feral. He got his bread. Everyone's getting a little bit healthier. Kirby Joseph might be feeling a little bit better. Who's going to stop Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in this game, man? Are you kidding me? This is where those boys rush for 100 yards each. And don't forget, you still got the Sun God doing all the work in the middle of the field. You still got Laporta doing all the work in the middle of the field. And here comes J-Mo, who's been very quiet. And you paid J-Mo. You're not going to pay a player and then have him stand around and do nothing. This is where you see the trick plays. This is where you see the long tutties. Guys, the Minnesota Vikings are in a rebuild mode. They're going to go back to the drawing board and ask themselves, do we need to draft a quarterback? Because I'm not so sure J.J. McCarthy's any good. He's not healthy, and when he is healthy, he's not good. For all intents and purposes, J.J. McCarthy's a rookie this year. And he's played 10 quarters of football. This is a tough spot, man. 9.5 to me is just about right, and I think they win this game by 14 to 17 points. Do not be scared, guys. So we're in week 9. This is where the oil and the water start to separate. This is where the cream starts to rise to the top in the NFL. This is where you start to see the real teams versus the teams that are rebuilding that are just not good. This is where you're starting to see the playoff teams, the teams that have a legit shot at going to the Super Bowl, and I don't think it's even close here. These are two teams going in different directions, and this is what I know, man. Dan Campbell has an agenda, and it's to play Lions football versus this team in a division that they think they're still hanging around with. This is going to be the nail in the coffin. Take the Lions minus 9.5, and do not be scared about that number.
Let's go to the Chargers. They're playing the Titans. Tennessee's at home. They're plus 9.5. All right, this is the other side of the coin for me on a 9.5 point game. There's no line that is big enough, I think, for the Tennessee Titans. I'm not taking them. I can't. We watch them get blown out every week. They lose by 10 points to the Raiders. So until these lines become like 14.5 or 16.5, something stupid like that, I'm not taking them. The Chargers seem to just have this ability to just destroy these kinds of teams specifically. this is where they get their nice cushion wins. And I know they had that really close game against the Dolphins, but we've seen the Dolphins just be randomly good sometimes whenever they feel like it. I don't know why. They're just like put up these really great offensive performances, but the Titans don't have that capability. There is no offensive performance for them. They're just in limbo. They're just like, well, we're waiting until next year. We don't know who's going to coach our team. And that's just it's not like they're galvanized behind this interim head coach. I sure don't even know who the guy is. And so, when Rich Bisaccia took over, that was a different kind of interim head coach, or Alec Pierce. I don't get the impression they're getting anything like that in Tennessee. They all know that this guy isn't he's nowhere near this organization, no matter what. There's always that back door open for some interim coaches, like, hey, let's see what they can do. Anything like that for the Tennessee Titans. This is my best bet. Throw Ladd McConkey's over on his receiving yards. I'm adding this to. I'm making a mega player prop ticket. Ladd McConkey, he probably have 80 yards. So I don't know. I know you can buy down yards. I don't know how many he's favorite to have. I may buy him down to 60 yards receiving or something like that in this game. I think he's gonna have a big one. And I feel pretty confident about that. So Chargers -9.5. That is not nearly enough, man. I think they're gonna absolutely decimate this team.
Yep, Chargers -9.5 is definitely the play. I cannot trust Tennessee. I took them once this year, and I hit with them, surprisingly, and it was that crazy Amari DeMarcado fumble. They came out of nowhere and won the game. Cam Moore got his first, but since then they've reverted back to being a horrendous practice squad team. They fired the coach. They fire his son. Dad steps down. It's just no dissension. Everyone's hurt. Calvin Ridley is just – he's not playing. He's hurt. I mean, is he even faking an injury? Why would you want to play for this team? They're a bunch of scrubs. Poor Cam Ward. You know what I mean? They have got no help there. Name anybody on that wide receiver team. They just got no one. I mean, I know I am whatever his freaking name is as a rookie. He hasn't done much. I mean, they're just not good. Chiggy Okonkwo, Tony Pollard's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Tajay Spears coming off an injury. There's nothing about Tennessee. Jeffrey Simmons, their best player, is out. Guys, This could be a 14-point spread, and I think they would cover it on the road. Chargers been playing a little bit better. They get Joe Alt back. Half the line is back intact now. I like Kimani Vidal-Sassoon, anytime tutty. I like Aronde Gadsden, anytime tutty. I just think they have way too much here. They're going to run the ball at will, and they're going to control this clock, and they're just going to slowly, methodically just wear the Titans out. And the Chargers are going to keep their ascension going, man. The AFC West is up for grabs for the first time in years, and they're marching towards, pretty much like a 2 or 3 team race to win that division. They have to beat Kansas City again. They have to see Denver. These aren't games that they can afford to lose. You could take one of my nuts if the Titans won this game. Seriously, that's how confident I feel about it. This probably would be my best bet, but it's, to me, too easy of a best bet to take because the Titans just are so bad. They can't score. The defense is horrendous. I mean, half the people there probably be Charger fans. This is not a good matchup for them. Defense is fairly strong. Derwin James, they have a good team. They're playing better. They're not great, but they're good. And Justin Herbert's been playing well, man. He's had to do a lot of hero ball this year. And it's translating into wins. They're going to run the ball. This is what coach wants to do. This is the Harbaugh special, guys. Run the football down the other team's throat minus their star player, and they're going to win this game by 17 points. Take the Chargers with a boatload of confidence. Tennessee is buns.
All right, let's hop over. It's the Atlanta Falcons. They're playing the New England Patriots. What are the Atlanta Falcons, man?
They are horrible. They're horrible.
I feel like you'd have a better chance of flipping a coin to determine how the Atlanta Falcons are going to play from week to week. I don't know what to make of them. They have these nice wins. They beat the Buffalo Bills in prime time.
Dude, they destroyed the Bills.
And then they can't even they can't compete with the Miami Dolphins. Not like they lose in a last-second field goal. They got destroyed.
Take a second and think about every single game this year, Spencer, okay? What loss was worse than the Atlanta Falcons losing at home last week to the Miami Dolphins. I can't think of one. I think that might be the worst loss in the entire NFL this season. Literally, the sports books built a casino off that win that they got. That's the worst loss in the NFL. They paid all their debt back off that one loss.
It's unbelievable. I can't take them now. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna go against them this week. They're playing the Patriots. There's no reason the Patriots shouldn't blow them out, and the Falcons win by 30.
Yep.
It seems like that. I can't do it, man. I just don't know. I think if you go against the Falcons, you're right more than you're wrong at this point. I think that's the kind of the mentality I'm going to take after it. New England's had a great schedule, man. They have, I don't know. They just seem to, everything's falling into place for them every week. And so they're climbing up win after win. Why can't they do it now? I don't think there's any reason. Not like the Atlanta Falcons are worth anything. It's only -5.5. That's win by a touchdown. 5.5 is one of those scary lines that I don't like, but I don't like know, man. Who cares? It's the Falcons, dude. I'm not betting on them. They suck.
They do suck, man. But the problem with them is not that they just suck. It's that I feel like they forget to take their meds sometimes because they're bipolar. They're bipolar. They are. Okay? They're the most unpredictable team in the National Football League. And if I was a Falcon fan, man, I probably would have been committed to 2 North a few times this season. But I'm going to take them here, coming off the worst performance of the year. In a home game, I'm going to take them to bounce back here. Guys, it's not like they don't have good players. Okay? I mean, they got Bijan Robinson. Drake London will be back. Kyle Pitts has been okay this year. One of these days, Darnell Mooney is going to catch a long ball. And Kirk Cousins will not be the quarterback on Sunday. There's a lot of different moving pieces here to bounce back here. Now, conversely, on the Patriots side, they're due for a letdown, man. You saw what the Atlanta defense did to Josh Allen. You're going to tell me that they can't do the same to Drake May? I get the Drake May hype. I do. But I think they're due for a letdown here. I'm not saying they're going to lose the game, but I don't think they're going to cover this 5.5. 5.5 is a weird spread, man. You know, and I could just imagine. I'd love to see be a fly on the wall this week at practice for Atlanta. Seriously. I mean, just not having Drake London last week in and of itself is huge. It's like take Jamar Chase off the Bengals. What do you expect to happen? I mean, he is a beast. So now he'll be back. Ramondre Stevenson has been ruled out. Travion Henderson gets his first taste at starting.
They're going to have to give him the ball now.
Now they have to give him the ball. And there's just something about DTs and defensive rooms all week long when they know they're facing a rookie running back. They're just like, we're not going to let this child come in here and embarrass us. The focal point is to kill the engine. There's just something about a rookie running back when you're playing against a veteran-vested group of men. They're just not going to want to go out there and get embarrassed. So if you shut down the run game for the New England Patriots, they're a different team because they're not a passing team. They're turning into more of a balanced offense, I should say. But I've seen Atlanta play very good games, man, and I think that they will take their meds and play a good one here. I think Michael Penix will have to have a very good game to stay in this game. Guys, it wouldn't shock me to see Atlanta win this game. They have Bijan Robinson, man. He's one of the 10 best players in the National Football League, and he is healthy. Give him the Christian McCaffrey treatment here, and they're going to cover this 5.5. Take the Falcons, not with a whole lot of confidence, but I feel decent about it.
They're wasting his career. That's how I feel. All right, let's go to Chicago. They are going to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. The Bears are -2.5.
How are the Bears favored in this game?
Joe Flacco said he's good to go. So
I don't know how the Bears are favored in this game is ridiculous. This game should be a pick 'em.
I know the Bengals, had a bad loss against the Jets, and it was. But you know what? Playing an 0-9 team, an 0-10 team, that's dangerous. If we're being like you're talking about a team that wants
a hurt fighter is a dangerous fighter.
that no one wants to go winless in a season. You know, it just at some point when you're 0-4, it's like, yeah, whatever. You know, you just started. Now we were creeping towards the halfway point in the season. Aaron Glenn was a new head coach. Justin Fields is fighting for his life after they disrespected him all week. His own team,
that's like his own owner. His own owner.
Breece Hall's throwing touchdowns. It's like sometimes that kind of stuff. It sucks when it happens to your team. You know, it reminds me like when the Raiders lost to Baker Mayfield and the Rams. It's like there's no reason, but there's just sometimes teams are just galvanized like that.
That pass that pass that Breece Hall threw, he closed his eyes and just chucked it up there. And it was caught. And he reached over the guy to catch it. I mean, like, that just should never happen. But sometimes it does. This is the NFL. What are you going to do?
And I think that galvanized energy is now going to be transferred to the Bengals, who probably just feel really stung by that one. They're at home. Joe Flacco, I think, is going to like the Chicago Bears. If we're being honest, they're not very good. They should have lost to the Raiders. They only won because of a blocked field goal, despite their defense getting 3 interceptions against like literally one of the second worst team in the league, the Raiders. They barely won that. They had to rely on a blocked field goal. Mm-hmm. And now you're coming against the Bengals, who have looked good under Joe Flacco. Their offenses look good regardless. You know, I know their defense stinks, but nothing. I don't like the Chicago Bears. I think their record is kind of ho-hum. Like, it's not reflective of how good they actually are. Kind of the most overrated, like over 500 team in the league, in my opinion. And I think the Bengals really need this one because everyone sees how bad the Steelers are. And so I think everyone in that division believes that they can sneak into the first seed. They have a lot of division games coming up. They haven't played a lot of those just quite yet. I don't know. I just think the Bengals got this one. And I think those fans are just, they need to see a win. And I think the Bears are just kind of rolling with the punches every week. It's what it feels like to me.
Bengals plus 2.5 is the play here, man. DeAndre Swift is out for the Bears. That's a huge loss. I don't care what anyone says. He's played pretty well this year. I'm still no lover of Caleb. They're just a weird. The Bears are a weird team, man. I mean, does Kyle Monangai, does he do anything for you? Where's Roshan Johnson? I mean, I don't know. The tight ends, they're okay, I guess. I mean, this is Rome season. Is DJ Moore even alive? They just have weird. It's just a lot of weirdness. I can't trust the Bears on the road. I like them at home. They pull out the stops in front of their fans, but Bengals had a bad loss, man. I mean, when you give up 40 points at home to the Jets, Jesus, my God, Father God, fix it. I mean, that's bad, bad. However, they're another one of these teams like the Falcons where it'd be interesting to see what practice looked like this week.
Yeah.
And I'm taking the Bengals because they can put up points, man. I'm not so sure that they can put up points like that if the Chicago Bears can put up points like that. Now, the Jets come out of nowhere and do it with nobody, so I guess anything can happen. But Jets have Breece Hall, man. Who do the Bears have? You know what I mean? Breece Hall is a very highly valued commodity who I think will be traded here in the next 48 hours.
He's a diamond in the rough over there.
He's going to get traded in the next 48 hours. If the Jets do not trade Breece Hall, they have to sign him. And I'm not so sure they want to. And so I just don't see it happening for the Chicago Bears here. I don't think they can keep up. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase Brown, whatever quarterback is in there, they should be able to score enough points at home and right the ships from last week. And they're getting points versus a very mid team that won 2 one-point games and hasn't looked good to me outside of one game. The only time the Bears have looked great to me all year long is when they beat Dallas at home. That's it. I don't feel good about what they're doing at all. I don't care what the record says. Bill Parr always says, your record says who you are. So if you're a 3-3 team, that's what you are. I don't know if I necessarily subscribe to that notion because 2 of their wins could have easily been losses, and they haven't looked good at any point to me outside of once or twice this year. I'm taking the Bengals plus 2.5, and I'm taking them with confidence.
Let's go to a terrible football game. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. This is an afternoon game. First one, play at 1:05. The Jaguars are -2.5, excuse me. The Raiders coming off a bye week, signed Tyler Lockett, another one of Geno Smith's buddies.
Tyler Lockett sucks, bro. What are we doing here, LV? What are we doing?
Well, the Raiders believe that they can get better. They think that they can improve significantly by the end of the season. I mean, that's what they're doing. I can appreciate that despite a disastrous season for the Raiders. I can appreciate that they're just, it's like, hey, what can we do this week? I don't know if I've talked about this, but I like what Mark Davis has done this year in the simple sense of we used to get live feeds essentially of Mark Davis's reactions after every Raiders game. I don't know who the hell was filming these, by the way, but we used to see after every game what Mark Davis was doing and getting mad, And now I haven't seen him this year. He hasn't spoken. And I think that is really, really, really good for the organization.
Somebody said something to him. He hasn't been around at
Tom
all.
Brady. I think he's like, get the hell away from dude, watch the games, obviously, the owner. Yeah. Don't say anything. Just let it happen.
Look at Jerry Jones. Don't be Jerry Jones.
That's the one thing that annoyed me so badly about this organization for so long. I shouldn't know what the owner thinks about anything
ever
until the offseason. And the only thing I should know is whether or not he's going to fire somebody or keep them around. That's the only thing I should ever hear. Mm-hmm. And I know Mark wants to be like his dad, right? You get a very front-facing owner. He's around. That's not how good organizations are run. And when you fire someone like Mark Davis was doing for a while there after every offseason, first of all, that's horrible for the organization. But really, you're calling yourself a big fat loser. You don't know how to hire people. You got to give people chances. And I know it sucks, man. I know I hate watching the Raiders be this bad. But you put a plan in place this offseason. You hired these guys for these reasons, and you got to let it play out. It's not going to look good this season. It's going to look horrible. But you got to give your plan that you laid out through the hiring process and see what happens. Now, I think they lose this week. The Raiders are a bad football team. That's the problem. They're going to be bad this year, and that's not going to change because of a bye week. I think this game's and I know Travis Hunter is on IR. He wasn't really doing anything. If we're really, really, really being honest with ourselves, this has been the Trevor Etienne year. He's the one guy who's really stood out amongst everybody. And I know Travis Hunter was kind of picking it up a little bit, but he was pedestrian on defense. He was just playing okay offensively. I know it's one less weapon, but I think ultimately they'll be fine. And the Raiders are bad. So I think the Jaguars aren't great, but I think they're a better put together team than the Raiders. Now, I don't expect them to play like they did against the Chiefs where they couldn't get past half field. Mm-hmm. But I think this is the last piece of my player prop ticket. Trevor Etienne, anytime touchdown. The Raiders can't stop the run. They have no talent on the defensive line, at all. They brought back Malcolm Kuntz, and he's been nothing. I think they should have re-signed Chasson. I never say his name. Kavion Chasson. Yeah. I think he had a great resurgence with the team last year, and they're like, well, we're going to roll the dice on Malcolm Kuntz after a really bad leg injury. And I thought that was one of the more dud moves that the Raiders had made this offseason. And I know Malcolm Kuntz was really good before that, but I don't know, man. No defensive tackles, literally none. The Raiders have not. They've tried to bring in Christian Wilkins, obviously, and he ended up being a creep from what we know. He had been worse first. Last note, it had been worse than anyone reported on because
he's not on an NFL team.
All pro level defensive tackle.
Nobody wants him.
No one called him.
No one wants him.
What the hell happened?
I mean, Kansas City needs all kinds of defensive tackle help. They call Mike Pennell back over Christian Wilkins. So that guy must have raped a kid or something. Seriously,
I don't know, man. But
he was amazing. What happened?
Something horrible. Horrible. But yeah, the Raiders have no defensive line. The Jaguars, I think they're just going to score 21 points, and that's enough. I don't think the Raiders can score 20 points right now. I think that's just where they're at. And then plus they suck at home. I mean, they suck everywhere, but the Raiders suck at home. They are literally one of the worst performing home teams, I think, in the National Football League. I think Jacksonville. I don't think they cruise. I don't know if that's too much to say, but I think they have a comfortable win.
I don't.
Oh no.
I don't. Okay. Jacksonville minus 2.5. I don't. I think that the Raiders are going to play well here, man. Why? Because this is what the Raiders do. The Raiders refuse to be bad. They refuse to be bad. The Raiders absolutely, positively will go out of their way to be a 6 or 7 win team if it kills them because they need to sell tickets. They need to sell hot dogs. They need the lights to stay on at Allegiant Stadium. And let's be honest, I do not think the Jacksonville Jaguars are a very good team. They are a paper tiger. Trevor Lawrence is not good. Travis Hunter is on IR. You are traveling 3,000 miles across the country to a team that is now getting their star tight end back in Brock Bowers. Ashton Genty, if he has any room to run, will carve you like a Thanksgiving turkey. Jacoby Myers has not yet been traded, so they're going to showcase him and actually give him some run so they can try to move him before Monday. For all intents and purposes, Matt Crosby is very healthy, and this is a smokescreen. Everyone thinks because, wow, Jacksonville beat the Kansas City Chiefs Monday night, they're going to just go across the country and they're going to ether the Raiders. Guys, I do not think so. I do not think so. I think this could actually be one of Geno Smith's better games. This is the type of game where everyone's going to be like, well, the Raiders are just so bad, man. And guys, they are. They are. But styles make fights, man. And I think the Raiders win this game outright. I really do. The Jacksonville Jaguars are not a good football team. Brenton Strange is still on IR. Brian Thomas is on again, off again. There has been zero connection from Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas this year. Zero. The last time you saw a real connection for Brian Thomas was when Mac Jones was on the team the last 4 games of last season. Guys, how is this team going to score? They have to score on the ground. They have to score on the ground. Anytime interception for Trevor Lawrence is gold. Guys, it's not even gold. It's platinum. Anytime interception for Trevor Lawrence, write it down. Maybe even 2 of them. If he does not run here and score with his legs, I think they can't win this game. Guys, I really believe that. Okay? I know that the Raiders are bad. But Brock Bowers is going to go to the moon tomorrow. Brock Bowers, anytime touchdown, 5 receptions minimum. And I think they win this game at Allegiant Stadium and give their fans something to be happy about. Jacksonville Jaguars fans don't travel, so it's not going to be this huge split. It all adds up to a Raider W, man. Guys, Tennessee is bad, okay? And I know this is going to sound crazy to you, but I don't really think that Jacksonville is really that much better going in because they're injured, the connections aren't there, and the only thing that they do really well right now is run the football, and they're not even doing it that great. Tank Bigsby is gone. So let's say something happens to Etienne. Then what? Now you're relying on a rookie running back to carry the mail. Guys, there's too many things that are going against Jacksonville here. If you can be scared to take the Raiders all you want, I get why Spencer doesn't want to, because as a Raider fan, he has seen this too many times. But as an AFC West fan, I've seen this too many times. The Raiders don't want to go 1-16. They don't want to go 2-14. The Raiders want to win 6 and 7 games and call it some kind of building block for the season. And that's who they are every single year, no matter who they bring in, no matter what changes they make. At the end of the year, it's 7 and 10. And that's what they're shooting for here. You're going to bring Kyle Lockett in here? Give me a break, guys. This team actually thinks they have a chance. And I think they do here versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville is not as good as people think. I guarantee it that Jacksonville will probably end up a 500 football team. Take the Raiders plus 2.5, and I'm taking them with confidence. I'm saying it with my chest.
Oh, God. Hope they lose. Okay. Let's go to the Saints. They're going to Los Angeles to play the Rams. Big line, -14.5. I had a nice teaser ticket last week on some of those big lines. I teased them down, didn't even need to. Yeah, in comes Tyler Shuck, or as I like to call him, Tyler Skunk. He stinks. I'm going to take the Rams. I mean, I know it's insane, -14.5, but Tyler Shuck looks literally like like a Make-A-Wish Foundation kid or something, man. And I'm not trying to disrespect. I think some of these Make-A-Wish kids would probably perform a little bit better. He just looked like a deer in the headlights last week. Like he looked scared to make a completion. He was in college for 16 years, was always in and out of the lineups. I mean, really, truly a horrible. They could have waited until the 7th round to take Tyler Shuck, dude. That pre-draft hype, they got caught up in it. That's insane to me. Like, how are you going to get gaslit by the NFL Network? It feels that way when it comes to the Saints. Like, no one was waiting to draft this guy. This whole, like, hey, man, he might go in the 1st round. Like, that was all smoke and mirrors. And the Saints were like, oh, my gosh, we got it figured out. Spencer Rattler is better than him. I mean, I know and obviously he started the season because of it. They're just throwing shit at the wall. I mean, quite literally. They're just like, hey, we drafted him. Like, that's the decision. Not because he deserves it, but because they're like, well, I don't know. It's getting towards the end of the season. Might as well throw him out there. That's a horrible place to be. If you're an organization, I don't know why they drafted him. You're drafting a guy who at best is at the same level as Spencer Rattler. Well, just play Spencer Rattler for the year, dude. Go use your 2nd round pick on a guy who might contribute to your team. So I know they still play hard, to be honest with you. Like, when you watch them, it's actually miraculous they haven't given up, like, on every single conceivable level. But I saw everything I needed to see last week, man. They're just falling apart at the seams. It's just one thing after the other. And now they're going to be looking to Tyler Shuck to, like, come in. They want the 1st overall pick. I mean, that's what I get the impression of. Hey, let's take Archie Manning. I know he hasn't been great. Take the kid from Indiana, something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Drew Aller. I mean, there's good quarterbacks out there.
This is going to be one of those, drafts where they're like, we made a mistake with Tyler Shuck. And they're just going to have to, like, put their big boy pants on and move on. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yep.
And if he is that bad, I think that's good for the Saints. I think that's what they want. Yep. Hey, Shuck, go out there, buddy. Pat him on the back on the way onto the field, watch him get destroyed, and pat him on the way back when he gets to the sideline. He's losing them games. That's good for the Saints
that's
right
good
now.
For the Saints.
Let's put that's just kind of how I feel.
I think this was the plan all along, honestly. Let's see what Spencer Rattler can do, because Tyler Shuck can't beat him out in preseason.
Yeah.
Give him some time. I think Spencer Rattler got a raw deal here, but to me, this was the plan. If we don't have at least 3 wins by the middle of the season, we'll throw Tyler out there. Tyler Shuck has been the worst draft pick. He's the worst draft pick this year's draft. Guys, this is not debatable. A 26-year-old rookie that can't beat out Spencer Rattler in preseason should not be on a team. And so they're going to throw him out there. They're going to lose a bunch of games. Alvin Kamara and Rashid Shaheed will not be on this team by Monday. And they're going to tank it. And they're going to go get Archie. This is what the Raiders should be doing. A live tank that looks kind of like we're being competitive. So no one really gets in trouble. You got 1 win, and that's what we want, is 1 win. We do not want to win games. And so you're walking into the Lions' den here. Team coming off the bye, getting Puka Nacua back. They're about to catch an ether. Dude, New Orleans is going to get stomped out with Timberlands in this game. They really are, man, because the Rams are a Super Bowl contending ball club. There's no way around it. And this Tyler Shuck kid sucks. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, the Rams could throw a 40-burger at this team tomorrow. They can, and I'm not so sure this team is going to be able to score 10 points. I mean, they've all but given up, and they're trying to lose. So don't be scared of 14.5. You know what I mean? Like, Puka Nacua can cover this by himself. Devontae Adams, King Kyler, like, this is an easy Rams W, man. I'm telling you right now, if the Saints were to win this game, the NFL is rigged. There's no way around it. I will not watch another NFL football game. I will cease doing this show. This show will abruptly end for a year if the Saints win this game. There's no way in hell that Tyler Shutt is going to have a decent game. That defense is going to be all over this kid. He's just not good. Sometimes, guys, you get bought up in the hype, and you end up picking a team that is a kid that is there because you think everyone else has made a mistake. And the truth is he just sucks, and no one wanted him. No one wants a 26-year-old. Look at Velus Jones. Remember that guy? That guy was like 30 years old as a rookie. Where is he? Stop picking kids that are in their late
like Brandon
20s.
Whedon all over again.
Guys, these guys are 5,000 years old. They're an AARP. Stop, okay? Rams minus 14.5 is the play with a boatload of confidence.
It's actually going to be the last leg of my teaser, which I'll reveal. I'm teasing the Rams, Panthers, and what was my last game? Now that I say this, Panthers, Rams, and
Chargers.
That's what it was. Thank you. I love that, man.
That's
Field
house
goal in the
money.
Chargers
Oh
game.
man, that's filet mignon.
Whew. My teasers have been nuclear every week. I need to start revealing them.
That's lobster with garlic butter.
Nice. That's nice. All right, let's go to the Chiefs. They're playing the Buffalo Bills.
Let's go.
How is that not the Sunday night game?
Disgraceful.
You know what? The NFL went way overboard for the Washington Commanders.
They did.
They just penciled them in as like the new face of the league. It's like, man,
they're not good.
Year.
They're
and
not
now it's
good.
like not fun. It's not fun to watch them on prime time.
Nah. They're not good, bro.
It's like they've forgotten like that Buffalo Bills.
Who butters your bread? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Do that.
The NBA does that too. I feel like they'll just. It's almost like the opposite. Like the NBA will just like put on like the Lakers without LeBron and Luka on prime time. And then you're like, well, where are the good teams? And the NFL just like, hey, man, anybody who might be half decent, let's give them all the primetime games. Like, dude, the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills is the biggest game of the week by a very, very, very large margin.
It's not even close.
This is going to be a hell of a game, man. The Bills have had their number in Buffalo for, it feels like, I mean, not in the playoffs, but I'm talking in the regular season for a while now. You know what, though? I'm going to take the Chiefs here. I think that they're due for a win in Buffalo. I almost think the Buffalo Bills need to lose this game so that if they play them in the playoffs, like they can like reverse it. You know, it's almost like they just can't beat them twice in a year. And so they need to have that. They need to reserve their one win against the Chiefs in the playoffs or something like that. I just think the Chiefs are playing really good football right now. I think they're really hard to beat. They're healthy. Everything's going for them. And they're just kind of on a streak right now. They're gunning for the first seed in the AFC West. I don't know if they'll get there just because they had such a slow start to the season. And the last 2 weeks have been a little bit ho-hum for them because they had to play the Raiders in Washington without Jane Daniels. And plus Washington, like we just kind of talked about, is kind of not good. And so it's like, and they played really bad in the first half. They play like they did in the first half against the Buffalo Bills. They're going to lose. But I just don't see that happening. I don't know, man. I know it's not a primetime game, but I think the Chiefs, I think they need to know that they can get this regular season win. I think they're ready to make a big announcement to the league. They're back, but now this is like their way to announce like, hey, we're Super Bowl contenders now. That's the kind of message I feel like you're going to get from the Kansas City Chiefs. Everyone knows they're back. Everyone knows that they're not this bad team that they started out to be, but are they Super Bowl contenders? And I think they want more than anything else to prove to everybody. And I'm not going to say to themselves, because I think they always have the confidence any week, just because they've been there and done that so many times now. And I think they want to show it to the world. That's something the Chiefs love to send messages to the league in a way. And so I think this is one of those games where they do that.
Yep. I love Kansas City here too. I do, man. Guys, I've been talking to you about the Chiefs for the last couple weeks. Hopefully you've been listening. The Chiefs never left. The Chiefs were injured, suspended. Now they are playing together. I talked to my son about this, and he said, yeah, it's Voltron, and now they have the head. Okay? They've come together like Voltron. Okay? It's like the Wu-Tang Clan missing members. They're not going to be the same. You got to have them all together, and the Chiefs have them all together now. And their offense has scored 28 points in the last 5 games. And their defense has been holding fools down. Guys, the Buffalo Bills are not a Super Bowl contending football team. They're not. You might think they are, but they're not. Okay? For a number of reasons. Number one, Josh Allen has not played great. He's been okay, just not played great. Married Josh Allen has been domesticated. I'm not saying his nuts are in his wife's purse. I'm not saying that. But he is not the MVP caliber Josh Allen you saw last year. Now, could that change it a drop of a hat? Of course. But they're pressing here because they know if they lose this game, their chances of going to a Super Bowl are all but gone. That's number one. Number two, guys, their defense is not good. Okay? It is not good. Their secondary is not good. And what do the Chiefs like to do? The Chiefs like to throw. And now Ed Oliver is out. That's a humongous loss, man. That is a huge hole in the middle of that defense that is missing. You can run the ball on them. Now, if they can't get James Cook going here, they're going to have a hard time winning this game. And the Chiefs know it. If I'm Steve Spagnuolo, I sell out to stop James Cook. Nobody on that team is gonna beat me. Not if their name is James Cook. I am doing everything I can. I am stacking every single hole, every single box, and I'm gonna make Josh Allen throw the ball to win. Because who is his guy? Who's Josh Allen's go-to guy? Khalil Shakir? Really? I mean, he's okay. That guy's a slot guy. He doesn't score unless he scores from out 50 yards out. Keon Coleman is a bust. He's done nothing. Who else do they have? Joshua Palmer's not even going to play. So now you're going to have to win with Dalton Kincaid. I mean, is that going to be enough? I mean, last week they just ran the ball all over Carolina. That's how they won. They just ran the ball. Kansas City can score here, man. I know Pacheco is out, but to me, that's not a huge loss. He wasn't great all year. I think Kareem Hunt will be every bit as good. He showed you last year what he could do in the absence of Isaiah Pacheco, and I think he'll do it again. And they've got some untapped talent. Brashard Smith, they've got some guys that can go long. And Patrick Mahomes is determined to make y'all eat your words, man. You see it every single week. Every week, you're just like, my God, how did he make that throw? My goodness, was he not tackled? Like every week, you see Patrick Mahomes do some amazing shit that you're just like, this is ridiculous. You're just like, I'm so sick of seeing him make these magician plays. And you're going to see it again on Sunday. And it kind of scares me because of how it's been. Whoever wins the regular season loses in the playoffs.
I'm saying.
It's almost like you want the Chiefs to lose this game, but I personally don't care. I think that the Chiefs are on a mission to show everyone that they never left, and I think that you're going to finally see Chris Jones be Chris Jones this week, and the Chiefs are going to win this game going away. I don't trust Buffalo. Buffalo lost in their building to New England. Buffalo lost on the road in a bad way to the Atlanta Falcons. Who have the Buffalo Bills played in their wins? That winning percentage of the 5 wins they have is under 300, guys. They don't beat good teams. And Patrick Mahomes would love nothing more than to close Highmark Stadium with a W. I love the Chiefs here, man. I'm not scared of the 1.5. I'm not scared of any of it. I'm not scared of the Buffalo Bills at all this year. I was more scared of the Bills last year than I am this year. And I think the Chiefs go send a message, and I think they send a strong message. I think the Kansas City Chiefs score 30 points in this game. And if the Bills can't score 40, they can't win this game. They can't. And the Chiefs defense is playing really, really well. Guys, you saw the Baltimore Ravens hang 40 on this defense with Ed Oliver. I know Maxwell Harrison is back, but he's a rookie. Nothing the Bills do here scares me outside of Josh Allen and James Cook. Take the Chiefs with a boatload of confidence. They're on a mission to win this division from behind.
Let's go to the Sunday night football game. It's the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to Washington to play the Commanders.
It's a
Seahawks are
horrible
minus
game.
2.5.
Dude, you should be able to flex this game. You should be able to flex this. The Chiefs should be playing Sunday Night Football. This is absolutely disgraceful. No one wants to watch
Daniels
this game.
Is back in this game.
Who cares? Nobody wants to watch this game. Spencer, are you going to watch this game?
Well, I'm a freak, but
I might because I got nothing else to do. Wife is out of town. But, like, seriously, like, this is a boring game. This is the type of game, guys, that you have to have money on just to be invested in it because no one cares.
Yeah. God, I've taken the Washington Commanders at a lot of spots. I didn't take them last week,
they're
obviously. I knew they were
horrible.
going to get blown out, but it's so tempting to take them at home. They just seem, they do, I'm thinking back to the Chargers game where I did take Washington. They beat the Chargers. But I've gone against the Seahawks so many times this year. I've gotten burned for it. I don't know. I guess I can't do it. I want to take Washington so badly, but they're just not very good. They got a lot of injuries, and I don't know, man. There's just something about them that just seems kind of dead. And Seattle just is kind of rolling along. Cooper Kupp is questionable for this game. They haven't, from what I looked up, they haven't released their official injury report, but it's a bit of a laundry list for the Washington Commanders. I don't love it. This isn't my best bet. Nothing I feel confident about. It is like just a ho-hum game. No one cares. No one cares about Washington. No one cares about Seattle, even though Seattle's been really good this year.
The Washington Commanders have no heart, bro.
Yeah, they're just out there. I don't know. I can't explain it. They're just there, man. They are just there. I don't know.
Out of Scary Terry, you saw what happened last week. As soon as Scary Terry went out, that team laid down like a freaking lawn chair. They have no heart, man. I don't care where you play. Guys, every year this happens to a team where they just exceed expectations. And almost, you said it a couple weeks ago, Spencer, it's one of the worst things that can happen to a rookie quarterback is to excel mightily like that. Because then it's expected of you the next year. And all of a sudden, now there's dissension. And guys, this is a better team. They brought in Debo. Like, they're supposed to be better. They're not. They got Laramie Tunsil. Like, they're supposed to be better. This, for all intents and purposes, this is the same Washington Commander team that could have gone to the Super Bowl. And they're horrible.
On paper, better.
And they're not good. Kansas City went nuclear in the second half. It just goes to show you, if they would have had their shit together in their second quarter, they would have won that game by 5 touchdowns. Guys, this is not a good football team. Jaden Daniels, to me, just doesn't look the same. Little Bill, everyone was galvanized by this guy. He's not good, man. He was a practice squad running back for a reason. Zach Ertz is old as dirt. Debo is fat and slow. And is Terry going to play? I love Seattle here, man. They can run the ball. And if you can run the ball, you can eat clock. Zach Charbonnet, KW3, they're going to eat in this game. There's nobody in that secondary that will have an answer for JSN. Nobody. Dude, JSN is a top 10 wide receiver in this league, man. And he's doing this with Sam Darnold, who is buns. They have good tight ends. I love Seattle to come across the country and win this game going away. There's just something about Washington this year that just doesn't do it for me. They're on a short week after a tough beatdown. I'm taking Seattle under the lights here. I'm taking them with a lot of confidence, man. Early on, I was betting against them left and right, and I was losing. So I started taking them, and they're covering for me and winning. Seattle is not as bad as people think. And I know Cooper Kupp is on the bad side of question. Well, guys, Cooper Kupp is washed. You know what I mean? Play Torrey Horton. Torrey Horton's a beast. Torrey Horton's a baller that never gets the ball. Put the ball in this boy's hands and let him spin. Seattle's a good team, man. And they can run the ball. And anything happens to KW3, Zach Charbonnet is going to come right in and take over too. The Seattle Seahawks are going to go and win this game outright. I'm telling you, they have zero heart in Washington. If Scary Terry don't play, it's all but the nail in the coffin.
Last game, Monday Night Football. Arizona Cardinals go to Dallas to play the Cowboys. Cowboys are minus 3.5. The Cardinals are a mess.
They're so bad.
Kyler Murray is healthy enough to play, but they're not starting him. They say This tells me everything I need to know for betting purposes that Kyler Murray may play a role in this game. What the hell does that mean? You ever heard of that before? Where
Kyler Murray is buns. They hate him. They
starting
paid him
quarterback
to
is healthy enough to play, but they
play a
won't start
role.
him.
Jacoby
Play a
Brissett
role.
is starting this game. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know, dude.
Oh God.
Running back room is a mess. Jeez.
I feel like I should just grab a coin right now and just throw it up in the air for this one.
No
I know
way,
the Cardinals
bro.
have looked competent in a lot of ways under Jacoby Brissett, like they really have. And the Cowboys had a stinker last week, a real dud. I mean, their defense is so trash. I'm going to take the Cowboys. I don't know. I don't think I should. I think the Cardinals could even win this game. I don't love it, but I don't know. It's just like you're at home. It's a primetime game. The Cowboys need to have a bounce back game. They're going to score a lot in this. I don't think the Arizona defense is all that great. I could see this being like a 30-24 game. It's just, Dak played a pretty bad game last week against Denver. I don't think he plays that bad 2 weeks in a row. It's a bit of a toss-up for me. I don't love it, but I am going to take Dallas at home. I like taking them at home during primetime games. They seem to
score.
Play pretty close. They can score.
They score. Almost 40 versus the Giants, 40 versus Green Bay. There's no world where the Arizona Cardinals, I don't care who's starting at running back or quarterback, is going to put up 40 points versus Dallas. That's my rationale here. And I think it's a sane one. Okay? There's so much dissension going on behind the scenes. Guys, I said this like 6 or 7 weeks ago. They do not like Kyler Murray. They don't. If they could get rid of Kyler Murray right now, they would.
Oh, they would.
There's no doubt about it. Okay? How is your starting quarterback that you've paid bazillions dollars healthy enough to start and you start Jacoby Brissett? That's all you need to know. Trey Benson's still on IR. Michael Carter on the practice squad. Waived, brought back. Waived, brought back. Amari DiMercato can't hold on to the football going into the end zone. Bam Knight was on like a USFL team a year ago. I mean, they're an absolute mess. They don't throw the ball to Trey McBride enough. They never give MHA good balls. I mean, you really think this team with that defense is going to stay in this game after a bad loss on the road versus Denver? Dak is going to eat here, man. He might throw 5 tutties. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, they're going to go nuclear. And Javonte Williams has been good this year, man. Like, at home, under the lights, if the Dallas Cowboys don't score 40 points versus this defense, I'll be absolutely shocked. I really will be. This is one of my favorite bets this week, too, man.
I like the over in this game, 53.5. I like that.
There's going to be points scored. Arizona will score points because Dallas defense is buns. And their defense alone may make plays versus bad, Arizona offense. But Dak is not going to have back-to-back bad games. This is a terrible defense and a terrible team with no identity and a bad head coach. Gannon's over his head. Take the Dallas Cowboys with a lot of confidence to close out the week.
That's it, man.
Final thoughts. Let's hear the Wizards tickets.
Yeah, I just want to go back over my touchdown ticket and I'll do my teaser. So Tyler Warren, anytime touchdown. Josh Jacobs, anytime touchdown. And Trevor Etienne, anytime touchdown. I think
Travis Etienne. Travis.
Oh.
Trevor Etienne plays for Carolina, guys. Don't do it.
Don't do that one. That's funny. Too many ETNs in the league. And then for my teaser ticket, I love the Rams, Panthers, and Chargers.
You've heard it here first. Listen to Spencer. He hits these guys.
That's
these
teasers,
tickets.
Man. That's
these teasers. That's his specialty. They cash. Week 9, guys. As always, remember, if you struggle with gambling, don't lose your home. Don't lose your wife, your livelihood. It ain't worth it. But if you are one of these people that does not do this for just fun like we do and you're really expecting to cash, be careful. Gamblers Anonymous is real. If you need it, reach out. That's why they're there. We don't want to see anybody living under a cardboard box over a game. That's it. We'll be back next Saturday with the slate for you guys. And as always, stay safe. Enjoy the games. On behalf of World of Matches, I am Dexter Reid, and that is Spencer the Wiz, and we are outie.
See you guys.